In this video, I want to share everything about camp that we did this summer. So if you'd like to see more, then stay tuned. Hey EllisFamLifers, and thank you for joining us. If you're new here, this is EllisFamLife #AutisticTwins, where we like to do three things. We want to raise awareness and acceptance for nonverbal autism, relate to you and the autistic person in your life, and educate by sharing examples and stories of our life with nonverbal autistic twins, Alex and Will. So everyone, thank you for joining us. We have had a really cool summer, and now that school is underway and I've got time to do some editing, I wanted to share some of the experiences that we did this summer. Specifically in this video, I want to talk about camp. There are so many things that I could say about camp, and I guess the most important thing is it was truly life-changing. And I need to give you a little bit of background about what camp is and why we went. And this camp is called Hope Heals Camp, and it was started by Jay and Katherine Wolf. Now, a quick nutshell of their story is that they are from Georgia and Alabama. They're probably about mine and Frank's age, and they went to a small school here in Birmingham called Samford University, and they had the world at their feet. They met at Samford, got married. Jay was going to law school, Katherine was going to model, and they moved to California for a short time for them to pursue schooling and careers. In the meantime, Jay was finishing up his law school, and Katherine was driving up the coast to go do modeling gigs over in Hollywood. In the meantime, they got pregnant with their first child, and then she was, if you read their book, she's talking about fun things like she would just take the baby with her and they would do mother-baby modeling gigs. Jay and Katherine are very strong Christians, and everything looked perfect until one day Katherine came home and began to feel very ill. She started vomiting and she lost consciousness. And thankfully, Jay had come in to eat lunch with his family and saw that Katherine was unresponsive, called 911, and come to find out, Katherine had had a congenital defect, birth defect called an AVM, Arteriovenous Malformation. She had a brain bleed at the age of 26, and this caused her to have a stroke. Basically, she had a stroke, and she had emergency surgery at UCLA, and over the course of several years made a very slow and steady recovery. Now, you can see, if you look them up on the internet or stories or blog or Facebook or whatever, you can see that Katherine has relearned how to walk. She's paralyzed on the right side, blind in the right eye, deaf in the right ear, and literally lived at rehab for at least a year in order to just learn how to walk and learn how to swallow again. So really huge, beautiful testimony of healing and grace, and the Lord just brought them through so much. And this all happened maybe 11 years ago. So in the meantime, as she's recovering, they're learning how to be a family again. They're learning to live again. And it's taken them this many years just to figure things out. And they would probably be the first to tell you that they don't have it figured out. However, all of that to say, as they grew and as they learned and life changed for them, they began to want to do some kind of ministry for people in wheelchairs and special needs. And because now their life was completely changed. Although Katherine learned how to walk again, she still uses a wheelchair, and they're still, I think at the age of 28, she was declared disabled by the United States government. So she's now considered a disabled person. And they had to learn everything, put in wheelchair ramps. How do I function on a day-to-day basis with this disability? And so once they kind of figured that out, and I think that you're constantly figuring that out for the rest of your life, they wanted to create a safe place for families of special needs people to come just to have respite. And us personally, I knew about the camp, and it's only been in existence for about 3 or 4 years. So it's very new, and it happens in Alabama, and they rent space at a campground in Alabama. And it has to be wheelchair accessible. That's the first thing, is we function on wheelchair time. And granted, our family, particularly us and the twins, we don't have wheelchair issues, but when you have a special needs loved one, it always takes extra long time to get things ready, to get them out the door. And so it's wheelchair time. So that makes perfect sense. So over the years, most of y'all know our story. We lost my mom, his mom. Frankie was in and out of the hospital. The twins, something was wrong with them. We didn't know. We got the nonverbal autism diagnosis. And life's just been crazy. Well, there's a particular lady in our church who was burdened for us and would say, y'all need to go to camp. You would love camp. You would love camp. It's wonderful. And for some reason, I thought camp cost money. Like, the big thing about Hope Hills Camp is it is a lottery. They can't let everyone in, but they will not take money if you win the lottery. So what they do is you deposit a $100 faith deposit just to kind of secure your place in the lottery. And then everyone who wants to come to camp, who's interested in coming to camp, submits their name to the lottery and puts in their $100 deposit. And then they literally draw a lottery. They draw names from the lottery, and then they will call you and let you know if you've made it, if you were chosen from the lottery. And if you were chosen, great and wonderful, they keep your $100 deposit. And if you did not get chosen, they refund your $100. So you're not out any money. You just didn't win the lottery. So literally, we won the lottery this year. And I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't realize how good it would be. So this lady at our church for the last 3 years has been saying, Amber, y'all need to go to camp. Y'all need to go to camp. And I thought, I don't have the money to go to camp. It's like our whole family is 6 people. It would cost us thousands of dollars to go to camp. And I want y'all to picture, do y'all remember the movie Dirty Dancing, where, even if you've never seen the movie, the premise of the movie is that this family, all 4 family members go to this all-inclusive camp and do family things together. That is exactly what Hope Hills Camp looks like. It's a campground, and all of the family, you bring your whole family and you all stay together in one place, and there's activities that you do just for fun, just for this family and for all the families, and it's specifically for special needs families. It gives the special needs kids and adults something to do. There's a program for them, and there's also a program and respite care for caregivers, parents, siblings, everybody. So it's all inclusive, and all you do is enter the lottery. So we entered the lottery back in February, and I was kind of like, we're probably not going to make it. I mean, how many people know about this camp and actually get in? And come to find out, we made the lottery. So then we had to do an interview. We had to do background checks. Every single person in our family had to submit to a background check, which is totally fine. I mean, they have to make sure that it's safe. And then I had to interview with one of the camp counselors who happened to be a nurse. So I was able to tell her the whole story, tell her about Frankie, about my mom, about his mom, all the things, and just said, we would love to come to camp if it's available. And so then we won the lottery. We were able to go. And all we had to do to prepare for it was to make sure we were off work. And then we had to drive. And since it was in Alabama, kind of close to Birmingham, it only took us an hour and a half to get there. But some people flew from Texas, people drove from Arizona, there were people from all over, and there was even one lady there from the UK. So our church had a really strong following. So the lady who had been so encouraging to us to try to get us to go, her name is Eunice. She was there as a volunteer, and then another family in our church went as campers. They have a special needs daughter. And then another family went as volunteers. And we found out later that when the volunteers go, they raise money. They have to raise at least $1,000 to pay their way, and it helps pay for the way of a family. So basically, the family that raised money in our church to go as volunteers, they helped pay for our way. So I don't know that I can really describe camp, because it was that beautiful setting. The weather, kind of a cool front came. It is so hot and humid in Alabama in the summertime. We're talking 95 degrees, high humidity, and you're just kind of walking around just doing this. Well, that particular week we came through, and a cool front came through, and the temperature dropped about 10 degrees, and the humidity dropped where there was always a slight breeze. So I feel like it was just the heavens opened up and gave us the perfect weather and the perfect experience. So we stayed in this it was just set up like little rustic hotel rooms, and it was set up to where you'll see in the video, as we got there, we got this like standing ovation, hand waving, clapping, and they asked us before we went down the little path where you drive and all the people are waving at you, do you want a silent greeting or do you want a loud cheering greeting? And so I actually did not get video. This is the video that I'm showing is from a friend who went to camp because I was so overwhelmed I didn't realize I needed a video. I had no idea that we were going to get this like standing ovation. So we chose, because Will has noise sensory issues, we chose the hand waving and it was perfect. So the family whose video I borrowed, they chose like a little bit of both. So you can see this hand waving and clapping, and they did bubbles, and it was just so amazing. And then in the middle of the video, you can see Catherine has the sign that says, "We have been waiting for you." So anyway, just beautiful, a beautiful welcome to this camp. And then the whole week was like that. The boys were paired with a compassionate companion, or a CC, so each, basically an aide. So each boy had their own aide, and while they would go do like vacation Bible school type activities, we would go do fun music and worship, and small groups, we would sit in small groups and just talk about, how glad we were to be there, and we would hear each other's stories, because everybody has a story. And then there were things like they had spa time for the mamas. They did family portraits. And one of the things was Jay got up and said, when you have a special needs loved one, it is so hard to get the family together for a family portrait. It's hard. Somebody's always behind the camera, or you just can't get everybody together to get the pictures made. And so he said, we want to provide a photographer so that every family can have their picture made. So we got our picture made. There was a lady there who was a fashion person, and she did free haircuts. So if you needed a haircut or styling, Tuesday and Thursday at a certain time, you could show up and get a free haircut. So Stephen, my second boy, got a free haircut. So just little things like that. The whole week were set up to where it was just to make life easier for us for a week. And we had beautiful singing. The musical guest was Kendall Payne, and I had not heard of her before, but I was just amazed at her voice and her music ability, her writing. I thought a lot of times that she had written her songs for that week, but then I found out later that she had written the songs maybe 10 years before. They were just so appropriate for that week. And you can see her kind of at the end. She does a fun little concert. The last banquet that we had together as a family and as part of the whole camp was called the Luke something banquet, where it was titled "Everyone Has a Seat at the Table." That we're all equal, and we're all equal and equally and wonderfully made in the sight of God, and we all have a seat at the table. And so we had this beautiful banquet. Everybody sat together. We had fun, laughed, and then Kendall got up and she did a lot of covers and fun, happy stuff, camp songs, and then at the very end, which we only stood kind of on the sidelines outside, but they had a dance where they did like fun, Queen and just, classic rock stuff where everybody could just have fun and be together. And so coming out of it now, I really feel like it was a taste of heaven on earth. Like all of our needs were met. They loved on our children. And if I could bring everybody that I know who has a special needs someone in their life, y'all, if I could bring every single one of you there, it was that amazing. And it made all of us, even being the special needs people, that we have our own special needs to deal with the boys. Us older four, me and Frank and the two older boys, we still wanted to give back. We wanted to come back somehow and maybe come on the other week, because right now it goes for 2 weeks in the summer. We wanted to give back to Hope Heals and come be volunteers, just because we felt so grateful and overwhelmed with the love that we felt, that we just wanted to give back. So anyway, that's our camp experience, and I just put together a little, just a little short of some of the different things that we did, the people that we met, the girls who were Alex and Will's CCs, and just little clips of the fun things that we did and the experience that we had. And I wish that I could impart to you how wonderful it really was. We didn't want to leave. And just even putting the video together and talking about it, it was the most amazing experience. And I'm so grateful to have had it. And if you're interested at all in Hope Heals, just go on their Facebook page. They have a Facebook page. All you have to do is put in Hope Heals, and then the founders are Jay and Katherine Wolf, and their story is amazing. They've written a book, and they actually have another book coming out in February, so we have pre-ordered that book. And just to be around them, you'll see her, especially, I put some clips of her in there. She has so much light. It's like the light is surrounding her, and it just shines, and you just want to sit and soak it in. And you know that God has blessed them that much, that she just exudes this blessed light, and we were so grateful to be a part of it. So anyway, y'all enjoy the video, and if you're interested in knowing more about Hope Heals, just go to their website. I'm sure you could just Google hopeheals.com or hopeheals.org, and or they are on Facebook, Jay and Katherine Wolf, Hope Heals Camp. So y'all enjoy this video, and hopefully it will give you just a glimpse of the beautiful time that we had at Hope Heals Camp.
There's 35 different states represented here. It's just very
For the camera. Smile.
Scooping and scooping.
Oh.
Celebrating that we're here and can enjoy each other and enjoy the presence of God, and that He ultimately is our coach and taking care of us in this life anyway. So we're just enjoying the goodness of God in the land of the living tonight. It's so around. Here we go. Do you remember when we used to sing?
I hope that you enjoyed our little clips of camp. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Share this video if you know of someone who is going through a rough time, they've got a special needs loved one, they don't know, they're kind of adrift in this sea of loneliness. Share our channel with them, share our message, help us get our message out there. And like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so that you can see videos. I usually post weekly, at least on Saturdays and sometimes more frequently. And if you're interested in checking out Hope Heals, be sure to go to their Hope Heals Camp page on Facebook, or you can just Google Hope Heals Camp and it'll come right up. And thank you all for watching, and as always, I look forward to next time.